G'day everyone and welcome to another DR650 adventure. I'm Artist Wayne Dowsett, and on Sunday, Jacqui and I were up bright and early and heading off to meet up with Alex, who has his own YouTube channel right here called Motor Tutor, and the big man, BB. And we started our ride in the Ourimbah State Forest, which is west of Wyong on the New South Wales Central Coast, and the Great North Walk actually runs through it. Some of the forests here have been harvested for timber for over 150 years. The Ourimbah State Forest is one of the state forests of the Wadigan Mountains, and that's where we were heading today, into the Wadigans, to meet up with Brett, who also has a YouTube channel, and it's called Mr. Bretto67. And for the first time ever, we were going to meet Richard. But I knew he'd be a good bloke because he rode a DR650, just like Brett and Alex. And once the four of us passed through the Ourimbah State Forest, we rode down Bumble Hill into the beautiful Yarramalong Valley and then up into the Wadigans, where we were meeting up with Brett and Richard at the campgrounds in the Olney State Forest, which is located west of Lake Macquarie. We can do plenty of riding from there because it's bordered by Wyong State Forest, the Wadigan State Forest, and the Wadigans National Park. And seeing as BB's big, beautiful Yamaha Super Tenere was so meticulously clean, we thought we'd head into the Old Mill Road and see if we couldn't help him get it dirty. Brett, Alex, BB and I had actually ridden this trail before, and on that occasion it was an absolute muddy quagmire. BB had a smaller Tenere back then. By the end of the day he was covered in mud from head to toe. And this was where it all happened, but unfortunately someone had pulled the plug. There was no water and there was no mud. We were going to have to look elsewhere. Here's Alex on his DR650, BB on his Super Tenere, Brett on a DR650, Richard's also riding a DR650, and Jacqui on her little Yamaha TDR 250, now sporting a 22 litre fuel tank. Well, here's where BB's bike almost threw him off. She refused to go through the dirty water. She didn't want to get her tyres wet. So he really had to kick the spurs in to get her across. There you go, BB. This is how a DR650 does it. Oops, and here comes Jacqui. Better have a look at this in slow motion. I think she saw some money on the ground. She's a real trooper though. Just dusts herself off and gets back on. I really have to take my hat off to BB. That's one big bike he's riding. It was all downhill from here, really badly rutted, lots of rocks, so he was really doing it tough. On this particular ride, it was a day of riding across collapsed bridges. This was the third collapsed bridge we'd actually come to, and I'm pretty sure it's a convict-built bridge. Anyway, after that it's a short ride down the hill into a beautiful farming valley which winds its way out to Laguna, and that's where we had lunch at the Great North Trading Post. And after lunch, it's also where we bid farewell to Alex and BB. They were returning home. Alex lives in Sydney, and BB, well, he lives down near Victoria. And Jacqui, Brett, Richard and I, we were going to head back into the Wattigans the way we had come. Back up the mountain through the Wattigans. It's some very pretty countryside. The higher side of the trail is dotted with some beautiful big grass trees. Here's Jacqui's camera view as she's stalked by 3 menacing DR650s. As we wind our way up the mountain, you have to be careful because on our left side it's a big steep drop off. And if you watch Brett, who's the second lead bike, I don't know what he was trying to do, but it kind of looked like he was going to launch his bike off the edge and teach his DR650 how to fly. Let's take a look from Jacqui's point of view. Maybe he saw a nice butterfly on the tree and wanted to get a closer look. All I can say is, if the trees weren't there, Brett would have ended up a long way down. And as we headed back to the Olney headquarters, we came across this cute little Aussie Echidna. Brett said he or she was trying to get across the trail to the other side when they rode through. And for those that don't know, the Echidna, which is sometimes known as spiny anteaters, are egg-laying mammals. Anyway, we said hello before I placed it safely over the other side. And that's when we noticed Richard's boots. Take a look at these. Now that's what I call getting your money's worth. And that's when Jacqui and I bid farewell to Richard and Brett, and we rode through the Wattigans towards home, Paddo Bay. Not before my rear tyre went flat. Not the best way to finish the day, but it's always an adventure. I'm Artist Wayne Dowson, and until next time, I'll see you all on the trails. Thanks for watching, everyone.